Hello everyone, welcome to Easy Science International. This is your tutor Ivan Serunjoji. We are proceeding with the types of natural selection, and in this tutorial we're looking at directional or progressive natural selection. This is a form of natural selection which selects for organisms at one extreme of the normal distribution curve and selects against those at the other extreme end and at the mean, i.e. it selects for one distinct form of the population. So when you look at this, before natural selection sets in, we have the phenotypic extent as the independent variable, and then the number of individuals as the dependent variable. We have a normal distribution curve. Then in early natural selection, when it has started, we are exerting pressure at one extreme and at the mean. Then after natural selection has taken place, we've wiped away one extreme and organisms at the mean. So we are remaining with one dim or one part of that population. So examples of directional natural selection include industrial melanism. Now this is an example of classic evolutionary change. It is described as the occurrence of two forms of the same species of peppered moths in an environment darkened by industrial pollution. Up to 1848 in England, there were many white moths with few black dots called Biston Betralia typica and dark ones Biston Betralia carbonica, or the melanic form. Now, these were very rare. Now, the reason of the very few numbers of the dark forms is that they were being overpreyed upon by the predatory birds, since they could not blend or take camouflage in a clear environment. On the other hand, the light peppered moths, the non-melanic form, could take camouflage in the clear environment, minimize predation by birds, survive to maturity, and reproduce their own kind. However, when industries were set up, lichen and tree trunks were darkened by industrial soot, for example, sulfur dioxide. As a result, the dark peppered moths increased in numbers because during the day they could rest on darkened lichen and tree trunks, gaining camouflage and minimizing predation by birds. On the other hand, the white peppered moths reduced in numbers because they lost camouflage in the darkened environment, where they were easily spotted by the predatory birds. There's a third example here of directional natural selection is resistance of organisms to drugs. For example, resistance of some bacterial strains to antibiotics. The other one is resistance of Plasmodium against malaria drugs. And then resistance of insects against insecticides. We also have resistance of rabbits against a disease called myxomatosis, among other examples. We have a scenario here, an item could say, as per the new question, how does resistance against drugs develop in organisms, and how does it relate to evolution? Now, when a drug is used continuously against a given population or a species, it gradually induces a mutation in the DNA or genes of some individuals of the population. The mutated individuals are a new variety or a new variant or variety or species. That's to say, a new species has evolved. The DNA of the new species or mutated DNA cannot be hindered or inhibited from controlling metabolism by the mutagen or the drug. That's to say, the new variety is resistant against the drug. It has developed resistance. When the drug is applied again, the original species is selected against where the new variety or resistant species is selected for. It survives, reproduces, and multiplies. This is directional natural selection, which selects for individuals of only one extreme. So, in brief, that is that. I thank you for watching. Stay good, Easy Science International. Remain your tutor, Ivan Serunjoji.